Hi, so gonna keep doing documentation. This is covering a period of time from 20230919 p.m. to 20230924 a.m. So this is more of a lax week, depending a lot more on Consortium and then just getting some floating parts put together and basically establishing our toolkit for building a system, which is entirely necessary. You don't do anything complicated or that's worthwhile in doing unless you have an approach and a plan on how you're going to do that. So in order to build a system, in other words, you have to have a system that accommodates that, or you don't end up with anything but a pile of crap that doesn't work, which is kind of how we got to where we are. Anyway, so there were a few things that came up. I'm going to start with something that was not my favorite subject, but this has been decided and it's effective now. So there was a role availability slot for Satan's advisor, slot 7 of 12, which was accepted. So there is a consortium statement on that effect, and it reads as follows. Satan's previous advisor, Macrolemian, who was the 7th slot of 12 advisors, was eliminated by Byrne for authorizing and planning an aggressive operation in contravention of satanic command. Satan approached me, and inquired of me with an offer to work as his advisor in the 7th of 12 slots indefinitely, considering I have always been his advocate before council, even chief war command opponent to his army in the war of heaven, which I call the Eternity Wars. Satan also offered promotion to an establishment in the dark priesthood with the rank of Exquisitor, which is standard to the role. On council with my Lord, Commander, and Master Jesus Christ, I was authorized to accept the advisory position of the 7th advisor to Satan, even as this was congruent with my existing position of chief advocate to Satan before council. It was made clear I accepted the position, but that I would not accept rank or appointment in the dark priesthood, and Jesus Christ is clearly and always will be my master. Furthermore, I have position and authority in the priesthood of light, which is charged with abolishing darkness, among other things. I would serve in this capacity to advise of good objective resolution and in support of successful participation in consortium. I will recuse myself in all matters contrary to that, but still weigh in for matters requiring unanimous approval or consideration, of which there are several keys. It is mutually understood I will participate in this role until Satan approaches Jesus at the gate of the bridge of creation into 111131, which is beyond paradise. I will surrender my advocacy to Jesus Christ at that time. Jesus will make final judgment and determination of Satan, and the devil will follow with his request for consideration. I have no position of advocacy for the devil, who is Hasharim, and never will. Jesus Christ will destroy the devil. This will be one of the last events before creation dies. So just kind of highlighting topical discussion in consortium. There were a number of things that came up. Of course, there's been a lot of discussion about a lot of things, but I'll only mention a few because all of it's preliminary. And when we start getting into system components and design and things that are a little bit clearer and not deliberative, then, I'll start making videos about that shit, but I'm not doing it now. So, J. Malikor, Jared, Hemahem are accumulating interactions in consortium on all topics. Concept level system discussions have been had, and there are no design decisions made, not overt ones anyway. I will state also that we have the additional, so a fourth to the group has come in. This is Mohammed, and he has a very specific role. He is the Chief Military Liaison, Principality Level 2-3, and all things concerning military anything he is privy to, and he is the point of contact on. It's not a command role, but it is the grease that oils the machine. Okay, and that is Muhammad. So moving on. So Satan broached the concept of continuing availability of pornography in the coming system. There were some discussions about that, and just some preliminary things were established. So Satan specifically approached about ensuring pornographic content access. I stated my high-level position. It will be restricted access, not handled as speech, because it clearly is not. Any content found to contain children under 18 will receive military targeting designations. Content seizures of such material will be handled by the Beyond No Limit classification group. All access and attempts to access will be evaluated by IDs involving both target and inquirer directions. So in other words, if you're looking for it, then you're going to get our attention, and we're probably going to come and take a look at you. A real good one. War and other graphic content. It was asserted individuals searching for or viewing high volumes of war or graphic imagery will be yellow flagged and analyzed. So this could be anything from some kind of an academic approach to somebody really getting off on it and maybe even considering doing it. And so we're going to take an interest in those. Okay, because even in the military, we don't want people who they're going in there just so they can have a free pass at hurting people or killing them. We don't want that. That's totally screwed up and twisted. It's a mental case, and we don't want those. General content search and suggestion system. The system will have no paid advertising. Relevant content matching for individual IDs will be both returned and suggested based on actual, apparently or explicitly requested queries. But search patterning will also be employed to suggest related topics the individual may either not be aware of or have any experience in. The system will evaluate individuals for development opportunity qualifications to enhance individual well-being on an ongoing basis as a feature of the system operation. This includes aptitude evaluation and related recommendations for hobby education, training, or employment opportunities. So standard features. We're looking a lot at standard features. There's going to be a lot of them. Labor banks was reiterated. This is a concept that has been kicked around a little bit. So instead of for example, a bank where you go and you create a monetary account and that's it, they just handle banking. A labor bank is an enhanced bank, that is run by bankers, but organizationally and as far as what their scope is very much enhanced, and this is something we're very interested in developing, man. Anyway, what it is, it was again raised that the design element should be deeply considered to create labor banks. Labor banks directly tie banking and income to an individual while directly matching the individual with secure employment. This is targeting project-oriented or contract employment rotations where the individual may work temporary to longer-term contracts with a definite completion point. This could also be implemented for the general labor market. The employers would directly register for employees at the bank and pay a matching fee for service structured return to the bank. Employees would not have to worry about consistently looking for new employment, and the employers wouldn't have the cost overhead associated with human resource acquisition and advertising. This is a valuable strategic opportunity for banking. Instead of applying for a loan, an employer could apply for a workforce in order to accomplish a project objective. The bank would, quote, loan, unquote, the workforce and charge a regular fee for labor provided. The bank would pay the employees while in this type of an arrangement. This would greatly reduce FWA, fraud, waste, and abuse opportunities. Any remaining monetary loan for other costs associated with the project would be conventional If an individual has a bad recommendation from a previous employer does not have the skills necessary to acquire employment, the bank could match the employee with training or educational subsidy programs and also facilitate stipend management so the employee has housing and economic security assured by the arrangement. So there's a lot of little specific things that have gone back and forth. Some general actions, for example, China on just agreement to implement a Chinese solution to their governmental problem, creating unified China. Just on their agreement to move forward on that and actually accomplish that, they were given certain assets from Principality and given access to them just on their agreement to do it. Okay, this has greatly irritated a lot of other nations, but the concept here is, well, China definitively is going to set the operational tempo and example for how government functions. Okay, the United States has a good desire to lead in this, but it's clearly the case that the United States is in a completely fallen condition and is not in a position to lead, and it does not have the political capital necessary to achieve this outcome. The United States had its opportunity in the last century to really shine in this area and demonstrate what an effective government looks like, and the United States failed entirely. Instead, what was done was a whole bunch of tacitly approved operations, wars, economic actions, subversion of other governments, destruction of other governments, assassinations, you name it. The United States did it. If it was bad, the US did it, and you all got your names on it too, because you didn't say no. As long as you got your paycheck and you kept going to work and you could pay your rent, pay your mortgage, whatever, buy your groceries, you didn't fucking care. Well, that's about to bite you in the ass. Hard. And what's going to happen coming through on the other side of that, imminently, is we're going to see China just kind of move into the leading position. And we're not going to be in a position to tell them anything about shit. They're going to do what they want to do. And we're just going to have to be fine with it, because we're going to have big domestic problems. We've got things on the horizon that are going to be coming through and kicking us so hard in the fucking ass, we're not going to be able to get up for a while. And that's of our own doing, man. And it's going to happen. Anyway, shorter video today, but I'm not really going into much other detail. I'll start posting a little bit more detailed videos when we start getting into the third phase of system design. Right now we're in phase 1. Okay. We'll have a phase 2, and I'm not going to say a whole lot about that either. I'm not going to say much of anything about shit until we are either finalized on or in finalization of phase 3. And that's gonna be a minute to get to. It's complicated. But anyway, I hope you're having a good Sunday, man. I'm having a great day. Things are just swimming along. I hope you're doing something good. Why wouldn't you be? Have a great day, and as always, in case you just don't know, or you're not paying any attention, or you just can't see it from where you are, which is mostly the case, this is in charge. It's going to be that way for your entire life. So get used to it. Have a good one.